Great Smokies and an Appalachian Trail. Contact so far. It's getting late, so I may not be able to do it. Hey everybody, this is Will, KO4DFC, and this video has been long in coming. My computer on my 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is my Hammobile, gets me up to soda summits, all kinds of stuff. I figured out that computer module has started to go bad, and it's out of production from what I understand from the dealership. So the result is that I bought a refurbished unit programmed by Aries Technologies that should be plug and play. They've programmed my VIN into it. I should be able to go install it in a Jeep and it should work good as new. And we're gonna find out. So hopefully this runs the way it's supposed to. But they've got some information here on like warranty activation. You have to send in your old core apparently to get it to work. But for anybody who is potentially in need of replacing their PCM, if you've got a four-wheel drive vehicle that you use for ham stuff, and in this case this is my daily driver too, so we are going to find out if this works. So stay tuned. I'll be right back once I get ready to install this. All right, and one thing I've noticed here, I don't know how well you can see it, but this looks a little dusty. I'm assuming that this was an old unit that was sent in that they just reprogrammed. So I'm going to take a little bit of this electronic cleaner, and I'm just going to spray some in here and see if I can clean that up a little bit. So we'll let that sit for a minute. I sprayed that pretty well, and that went all over me, so I'm gonna go wash my hands. And just to make sure that we're good and clean, I've got some pipe cleaners here that I'm just gonna run over some of these connections and try to make sure I get any crud in there out that even looks like, it almost looks like a hair or something in there. So just gonna scrub these a little bit with these pipe cleaners and see if that cleans it up. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of grime that's coming out of here. So this isn't really all that scientific. I'm just taking this and kind of getting in here as much as I can. Just kind of running this through some of the in between the pins and trying to get stuff off the walls of the connector, just to make sure I get as clean of a connection as I can, and more importantly, so that this does not get corrosion and things over time. This is pretty easy to get this cleaner down in here. I mean this isn't even really that folded over all that well. I'm just trying to just get down in here and clean out most of the crud. I'm probably going to hit it again with this electrical cleaner because it looks like these are pretty dirty, but that's okay, right? I'm happy to have a PCM that should work. The pins look good from what I can tell, so a little dust, probably not that big of a deal. I'm going to try to get this guy right here. That's really caked on there. Yeah, it is. So, if you can tell, like right there is where I was swiping, so try to get that out. And yeah, maybe I'm going to hit it with a little more there. First thing that you do when you're working on a 06 Jeep Grand Cherokee, because the hood struts infamously wear out and they may not hold the hood up, is you put a little screwdriver right here to make sure that the hood doesn't shut on you when you're doing your work. So what I'm gonna do now is disconnect a couple of items here, and we start by, if you think about staying positive, that's how I think about taking things off batteries. You want to take off negativity and put on positivity, and in that order. So we'll start by taking off the negative terminal, and then you know, we probably don't need to mess with the positive terminal much, but we can disconnect the negative terminal, go ahead and disconnect the current PCM, which is the original PCM, and that is over here, right there, that guy. So we're going to take him out and put the new PCM in. And just for reference, this is a 10mm that's going to connect to that bolt, for anybody who's wondering what size you would use on a socket. All right, we now have the battery fully disconnected. I got my ham radio wires hanging out there, but no more current coming from the battery. And so now we're going to work on PCM. So the first thing we're going to do is remove these clips. The way this works is these little guys just flip up. You kind of pull them back like that, and then once you do that, should be able to essentially pull this off. I'll have to finagle with this some, but they kind of pull out, and then I think they pop up. I may need to get a screwdriver to do that, but once we disconnect these, we're gonna disconnect some of these bolts to pull this whole unit off. These don't take a 10mm socket, so I'll have to figure out what size goes with that, but we're gonna handle that in just a minute. All right, so an 8mm did the trick. It fits on these, but I've pulled the connectors off, and you'll see you pull that back and then push down on the black tab and pull, and they just come right off. One important thing when you are replacing a PCM, get your part number. Part number is like right here. You'll notice this one ends with the big letters 744AC. You want to get a part that has, in this case, it's like P56044, I think, 744AC. Find the PCM that matches the one that's installed in your vehicle. You want to order one of those. And now I think I've just got to disconnect these two bolts, and then there's a pop cap back there that we're going to take off, and then it should come right off. Okay, so this last piece was interesting. That hole there, there's a thing on the PCM here that I thought I was going to have to pop the cap off of, but actually this slides down, this little plastic piece slides down in that hole with the notch. So you just slide it out when you want to pull the PCM out. Now we just need to put the new one in. All right, so I've got the terminals looking relatively clean. I took a pipe cleaner in there pretty good, and that's about as good as I could do at the moment. So I had to break the tip off of the pin there, so I'm going to see if I can find another one at an auto parts store in the future, but there's going to be 2 other screws holding this in, so hopefully that should hold until I can just stop by an auto parts store or something and get a little cap for that. But yeah, now we're going to install it. All right, so I got the new unit installed here. I had to use a screwdriver to push these back down. It takes a lot of force, but got everything hooked up. It's all screwed in. I'm gonna tighten these a little bit more, make sure I got them all the way, and then we're gonna fire it up. All right, here's the big moment. Everything's hooked up. Gonna see if she starts. Please work. All right. Let it idle here a little bit. No check engine light, so that's good. And I hope we have breathed some new life into the Hammobile. So hopefully the Icon 5100A is going to be happy running with this new computer, and yeah, we'll see if we can get a little ham action going here. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps if you need to replace your Hammobile's PCM. KO4 DFC clear.